Good morning. We're gonna get noisy. We're gonna get back to some wood stove stuff. So I'm going to, hopefully I'm recording on my phone. Newspaper. You can pick it up free at your local grocery store or anywhere. I think this one's like the Chronicle or something, I don't know. But I'm making knots. I've got my wood on the floor. I need to go outside and I need to get more wood out of the woodshed, the wood lean-to. It goes the whole length of our garage, which is about 36 or 38 feet long. So I'm gonna get my knots ready because I want to talk about more wood stove stuff. I know that people in the community are either looking to get one, are bugging their spouse to get one, or have already gotten one and haven't installed it yet. There's things that you need to know. And I don't know at all about the wood stove, y'all, okay? So do your own research with the wood stove. Ask your local people who do wood stoves, fire safety. One fire safety tip I can give you guys is with your, I'll go grab it. This one's old, but your ash pails. Always keep some ash available, because if you get a roaring fire going in your fireplace or wood stove, and for whatever reason you need to put that out, dampering down your stove does not always work. So that wood ash can be used to actually smother those flames. So, and obviously, I got a few inches off my hair. So anyway, ash can be used for all kinds of things. Your garden, your walks. I wouldn't suggest going and putting it on the walk next to your vehicle. It makes quite the mess. So maybe you all can put one of those things outside your vehicle to clean your shoes. So now that I have my knots done, I'm going to take you over and I'm going to show you my mess. This is now our empty wood cradle. There is a huge mess. I have a box. Our dog gets bark box. I have some things I already set up with lint and toilet paper rolls. Those ones are actually for, those ones were actually from wrapping paper. So what I'm gonna do is you guys are gonna watch me clean. Wood is a mess. And I know that I need something underneath this, but the thing that was underneath this before, we're now using for something else, because at that time that was more important. So I'm not gonna get all of this, although there's that screw I was looking for. That actually goes over here, and I need to go out to the garage and I need to get another washer, and I need another nut. So anyway, that'll be later. But anyway, so I'm going to, for this fire, collect all of the junk around this wood cradle, because with wood, even though it's cold, you can be bringing in things in that wood that can be crawling around. And y'all, I'm talking about everything from recluse spiders, brown recluse, to ticks and anything else. A lot of bugs go dormant, and when in warmer temperatures, they will crawl out of those pieces of wood. And your wood shouldn't be getting bugs. We haven't had a problem, but I don't want one, so whatever. So I've collected some of that junk off the floor. After I do this video and I get up all the big pieces, I will be getting out the shop vac or my vacuum, and I will be cleaning this mess up. And obviously it gets very dusty. I had set aside our air cleaner over there, and the wall gets dirty. It's just dirty. I mean, you can't avoid that with a wood stove. It throws off. The wood's just a mess, so do the best you can. So we're gonna take this here, what I like to call fire starters. When you clean up a mess, don't throw it out. You know, don't always throw that out, because you can use it for your next fire. I need to go get my handy dandy trusty old clicker lighter, and we're gonna throw these logs into I don't mind getting dirty today, but it is always nice when you put, you know, well, I'm gonna go grab it. You need to go get your tools. You can get any of this stuff where they sell things for your hearth. So like a shovel and a broom. Do not ever put your household broom, especially if you've had a fire that day. I actually have been bad. I have not started a fire today. This wood ash may look thick to some of y'all, but I'm actually going to leave this in here. I cleaned this out the day before yesterday and put it on the walks, and I threw some into our garden raised beds. So, bear with me. Or if you're busy, you can go. That's fine too. So, this is what I have left off our wood cradle that I'm working with. And the reason being is that I want to go out, and it's going to take me 2 wheelbarrow full to fill that cradle. That cradle is a half moon. 2 wheelbarrows will make 2 to 3 will make our half moon shaped wood cradle be in a big circle of wood. So you'll have a big round circle, and you'll be seeing all your end pieces. So let's get this baby started, I guess. I'm gonna admit, this is getting harder on me. It's getting harder on my body. But I'm still feeling really, really blessed to still be able to do this. My stepdad delivers our wood to us. So this is all that junk that I collected on the floor, which again, I'll be collecting more, and I'll be putting it in this box. Well, in return, we'll be going underneath the wood cradle. I'm gonna go get my newspapers. And then we're also gonna talk about things you can use on your dampers for when they start getting squeaky. That's if I can find it. I had it out. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to grab that real quick while I'm grabbing these papers to start our fire. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So what I do is I've got myself what I like to call a cave. And I take these and I poke a couple down in there. Now mind you, I've already thrown wood chips down there. I've got old rolls of wrapping paper, the roll. When you get done with the wrapping paper, you can cut it and put in your lint from your dryer. I also use my old dryer sheets. So I also poke some on the top. That paper will fall in. Okay, so let's get this beast started. Right now, the stove, you might be able to zoom up on that, or you might be able to take a screenshot and zoom up on that. I actually have another one here. They're magnetic. They're a temperature gauge of your stove top and your pipe. Up here we have a kettle. We also have a fan that works by the wood stove heat. So I'm gonna shut this one door, because as you can see, that started up pretty well. I want you to listen. Do y'all hear that? That's what I like to refer to as the blower motors going. That means I had a fire, y'all, yesterday, and I ramped it. It was like over 500. Oops. But, I mean, our gauge is good to about 575. It's kind of like a danger zone. You don't want to be melting the paint off your walls, or, getting that pipe too hot. You don't want to have a fire out where it's not supposed to be. But you want to ramp your fires, because any creosote you want to burn out of there and keep your pipe really, really clean. But listen, I got my finger on a damper. You hear that? The other day, those were really, if any of y'all were here the other night when I was doing a fire on one of the lives, they were really, really squeaky. So you go out and you get yourself some graphite lubricant, okay? And that's how you safely lubricate your wood stove doors and your dampers. So I'm gonna go wash my hands, because as much as I love to play in the dirt, I'm also a face toucher, and I don't want to be, getting that crap all over my face. I am doing a lot this morning. I also want to go into the gout later, but I don't want it to be too much later, so I'm thinking maybe in the next, I don't know, half hour or so. So yeah. So we're gonna check on this. Still raging really, really good. And normally what I do is, again, always keep your poker, your shovel. Oh, log's pretty heavy. See this part of your poker stick? It's just shaped this way for a reason. You want to poke it in like this, so that wood underneath your wood sits here. And if any wood were to fall back, it's going to sit back on this one here, okay? And I know this one's dirty, but ain't no one got time for that. You also want to go out and get yourself some welding gloves. We have these, and we also have these. It doesn't matter what kind you get or what brand you get. Go to your local hardware store and make sure you get yourself a good pair of welding gloves, because your poker stick is not always going to help you. Sometimes you need to reach in there or reach on this ledge or down here, okay, to pick up a log that's on fire. And those welding gloves are going to make it so you can do so. And don't be scared. Don't be scared. Fire is only scary when you don't know how to control it. You have to keep your fire under control, but know how to react when a fire is out of control, which I'm going to also get to that. Again, I have a lot to do, but I'm trying here to kind of rest y'all's mind at ease. Always, always, always have a fire extinguisher in many rooms, okay? So, we're gonna sit here a minute and watch this fire ramp. I thought about going live, but I know you all. I go live and we're gonna be here longer than I have time for. Because like I said, I wanna go into the out. Many of you might have seen those flasher things that I have. Those are mind erasers. Just kidding. The flashlight, I'm gonna go grab it. I want to go back to the Dollar General and I want to get more of these. Bigfoot has asked me to go get more of these. I don't know how much they were. I didn't look. I saw it was the last one on the shelf. And I decided we need more. He wants more. There's a magnet, there's a wire. What this one is particularly for is you hook this underneath when you have your automobile, the hood, the hood open, and you can hook this around and then hook it to the metal, and you can see what's going on to see your engine or fill your fluids or whatever it is that you're working on. You know, changing out something, plugs, wires, whatever. So, I want to go get more of those. They take a AA battery, just one. And y'all, those are plastic, but they're cheap. And Dollar General, and they're bright. They're really bright. And, you know, in a SHTF situation or any situation, if it gets broke or, I mean, it doesn't cost $20, so you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna cry if you lose it or break it. So I'm gonna be going to get ourselves some more. My hubby wants one to keep in his work vehicle. We want one for the truck. We want one for the garage. We want one in other places of the home, and also we want to give people in our family one or two of them as well. So I'm gonna here come over there, and I don't know if y'all can see that up there. I'm not sure. There's a temperature gauge up there that I'm keeping watch of. Right now we are just past 250, so that is the temperature of the pipe right now. And when this fire ramps, what's going to happen is, because the pipe has been cold, you're going to not want to damper your stove down too soon, because you'll get something what I like to refer to as chugging. And then it'll poof. Your stove will actually poof. And you can hear that and smell that, and you don't want that happening. I mean, it happens to all of us, but you really don't want that happening. So I really hope that I've helped you guys with this. If you missed it and were maybe across the room and listening instead of watching, which I've been all over the place, sliding around on the floor, up, down, over. This is how you lubricate your doors and your dampers if you have this type of wood stove. I'm going to turn it sideways as well. It's lubricant graphite. So It is toxic, but it's powdered graphite lubricant, and it keeps locks working freely too. So you can use this on any cast iron or metal, or I mean, most of us just use WD-40, but you cannot use WD-40 on your wood stove. Don't do that. It's not like a creaky door where you oil your hinges on your door. That's not the same. You have to use powdered graphite lubricant, okay? Do not put WD-40 or any kind of oil that is liquid, that is flammable, on the outside of your stove. Don't do that. I'm going to use my wrist because I was touching that bottle. I have an itchy nose today. So that's going pretty good. I am going to close it off, and I'm going to sit here for a bit, and I'm going to wait for this stovepipe to get to temperature, because yes, I cheat and I use that. That's just the way I do. Again, do your research. You should always, just like shooting a boomstick off, that should always surprise you. That should always make you a little nervous, but you should also be somewhat comfortable. You know, when you have that and you fire, you want that to always surprise you, you know. I was told that by one of our guys in our mag. He'll always be a boy to me, but we went to school together. And he's one of my buds. So that's something he told my daughter too when she got out shooting, that you want to be surprised. You want that shot to startle you. So and there's many reasons for that. So yeah, I'm going to have to sit here, and what I'll do is I'll have to open these dampers more, and then I'll have to keep opening the door, and I'll be moving some wood around as it goes, and then I will start slowly shutting down the dampers, and then I will open the door 2 to 3 to 4 times more as I lower those dampers to shut my stove down. I do 2 half turns, so it's 1 whole turn. With certain fires, you may need to open those up more, or you may need to close them down more. You have to become knowledgeable with your own stove. I mean, this stove isn't even sold anymore. Here in the Adirondacks, this stove was made in the Adirondacks. And that business is no longer. So when this stove is no longer, I mean, if we take good care of this stove, it should last a long time. We need to put some of the more of that graphite lubricant on those there. Where the hinges are, because they pop up, so we need to put some in there. We'll do that. That's important. You can't be having a loose door when you have a fire in there. Y'all hear of a backdraft where it blows the windows out or blows a door, you know, when you open, it's not a good thing. But I keep a kettle up on top. I do have that rack on top. If we were to cook on there, I would take that rack off. But if I just want to kind of keep something hot, I would put it on top of that rack to keep it up off the stove. But if I wanted to fry an egg, I would take that off, set my pan or my pot right on top of the stove to fry an egg. Well, not right on top of the stove. I would put the pan on top of the stove and cook the egg within that. Or if I wanted to boil water. Another thing, like I said, we keep our temperature gauge on the pipe. But I also keep one on top of the stove. Then that way I know that can move around. I know that what I can cook on what temperature that top of the stove is. So, like I said, in an SHTF situation, you need to know those things on how to cook on top of your wood stove. Not all wood stoves can be cooked on. And don't ever cook, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't cook in your wood stove. Unless you really, 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 really like that smoky flavor. Just saying. So I'm going to ramp this fire, cut this video that has ended up being way too long. Wow. I get bored when I sit here and do a fire. So thanks for keeping me company. Even though I'm talking to myself until this is uploaded. Oh. So we were talking the other day about this language called noodle. That's going to be in my next video. So stay tuned. I'm going to get this fire ramped and I'm going to get out and see if that Dollar General has any more of those flashy things. And I know this video was long, but if you just look right here,